Welcome back to the DDD podcast. Joined here as always with Dante,
What
DC.
up? Yep.
We have March Madness going in the background right now. As we started recording this, Oral Roberts just took Ohio State to overtime, and everyone's bracket's all scared right now. I have Ohio State in the Final Four. I don't know about you guys.
I think I may have them in going to the Sweet 16, but if they lose today, man, that's gonna be
That's a buster. What do you got, DC?
I don't remember where I put Ohio State. I know I didn't have them going like deep, but I don't know. Losing this early, it's what makes March Madness interesting.
I know. I had him going down the Final Four to Illinois on the way to Illinois, just waltzing through whoever's on the other side. So
and we were saying like when we were off the mic, in years past, I mean, we always know March Madness, except for especially in the first round, except for the one seeds. After that, it's really a toss up. But especially this year with COVID, you really don't know who's actually good, who's actually not. So
exactly, and it affected football. COVID's affected everything. Next year, though, hopefully, COVID won't be affecting the divisions and stuff. Next year, what we're going to do today is we're going to go through each division one by one, talk about teams that are trending up post free agency, teams that are trending down post free agency, and who could win the division for each team. Which team could win the division for each division, and how far they could go. So, like I talked about on one of our earlier podcasts, you had to wait post-free agency to see how good the Patriots would be. DC was sitting here a week ago. He was like, no, the Patriots aren't a playoff team. The Patriots, no way.
No,
after the Patriots spent $232 million total in this past week and $200 on free agents that were not a part of their original roster from last year. DC, are the Patriots a playoff team, and do they win the AFC East?
They don't win the AFC East. They're a 10-6 wildcard team.
Oh, 10-6?
10-6.
I don't know, man. They beat Buffalo with a bum team last year.
But
and then you gotta remember, again, they're getting Dante Hightower back, getting everyone back from that defense that was number one a few years ago. So I mean,
no, I get it, but I don't know. I don't think that quarterback. That's my
stop it.
I like Cam. Cam's okay there, and as far as what else they can do with that, there's not really much.
Okay.
I don't think Cam can consistently be a top level quarterback.
Okay.
So they're gonna lose some games because of it.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring up pre-COVID, before he had COVID,
I know,
and after. So let me ask you this: pre-COVID Cam, the Cam that was balling out, the Cam that was carrying that team. Do you think?
Yeah, DC's got a QB list. He just has right there.
Ranking has Cam off of it because is it going to be pre-COVID or post-COVID?
Okay, so pre-COVID, Cam, you think that he leads them to what? A 10-6 record, 11-5? Okay.
Oh, yeah, 10-6, 11-5. Yes.
Okay, so but we can both agree that if he plays like he did the second half of the season, he won't be. They will go at least 7-9 or 8-8.
Yeah, they won't make the playoffs. If it depends on which game you have. Okay. I think Belichick and that level of talent that's on that team, A, coming back from COVID, and B, an insane amount of money in free agency. That talent alone will get you to a 7-9, 8. Okay. If your quarterback comes in and steps up, it's worth 3 wins.
So looking at
10-6, 11-5.
So looking at who the Patriots signed, notable free agents that they signed this past year. They signed Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, both the two top tight ends on the market. They signed Nelson Aguilar. They signed Judon and Edge. They signed Mills. They signed a ton of free agents that we don't even have listed.
To me, that's risky signing Aguilar, and I say this. Aguilar did good with the Raiders, but you know what the Raiders have and that Philly didn't have?
Another deep threat?
No. An indoor stadium. That's the same thing with Cooper.
He's moving to cold weather.
He's moving back to the outdoors, into the elements. I don't know how good Aguilar is going to be.
My question is, and they still have money too. Why is Aguilar the one?
Yeah, you could have signed Kenny Golladay instead of signing Nelson Aguilar,
or any of the other.
Or I forgot Curtis Samuel.
He played
with Cam in Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, but Aguilar, I think if the Patriots had an indoor stadium, that's a good pickup. It's like the same thing with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper had a drop problem when he was with Oakland. He went to Cowboys in a stadium that was enclosed. look what Amari Cooper did. He barely drops balls now because the elements don't affect him.
At the same time, Cam's going to use his tight ends a lot because they do a lot of short passing. And Belichick hasn't been an air-it-out guy.
And he uses tight ends a lot in Carolina. Yep. That's why Greg Olsen was going
now,
off.
Hunter Henry has injury issues. We don't know whether or not he's going to be there. But you currently, 2 of the top tight ends on the market, probably 2 of the top 20 in the league at least, if they're healthy.
I think getting Hunter Henry, getting Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry was smart because if Hunter Henry gets hurt, at least you still have a top 10 tight end. Because I think Hunter Henry, when healthy, he's easily top 5.
They're going to blow up safeties.
So you look at – we've talked a lot about the Patriots. You look at the rest of the division. We can all agree the Patriots are trending up.
Yes.
Hold on,
Is everyone in that division trending up?
No, not the Dolphins.
Before we get to that, I want to say something about Jalen Mills.
Yeah.
I think that was very dumb. He was on Philly. The Cowboys torched him. So I mean, I don't know. If Amari Cooper's doing it and Stephon Diggs, like they're similar talent level, he's gonna get cooked a lot. So, but okay, going back to your question.
Yeah. So going back, we're looking at the rest of the division now. So the Patriots, they're trending up. We've all agreed.
Okay.
I asked, is everyone in the division trending up?
No.
I think Miami's still the same.
Miami didn't do it. No, I know they signed Will Fuller, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
only 1 year.
Exactly. And do we know that he's an absolute stud?
I think he is.
In Houston, he was like the only target.
Yeah, but he was going off though before he got suspended.
And can he stay off PEDs?
I think. I don't know. I look at how I think about it for Miami. They were linked to a ton of big free agents, such as Aaron Jones. Didn't get him. Literally name any wide receiver. They haven't gotten him except for Will Fuller, only for 1 year or 2, who may just leave. He's just on this 1 year because of COVID. He just wants to get paid now, test free agency next year. I look at the rest of that division. The Bills, most of what the Bills have done is re-sign their guys and sign Mitchell Trubisky. That's trending up for me.
And did they get Matt Milano?
Yeah, they re-signed Matt Milano. They kept their guys. They're already a pretty good team, and they're trending up just because Josh Allen's another year older, another year of experience.
I think he gets a little better, more experience, more use with that offense.
Exactly.
Has another playoff.
They didn't lose a single coach either. Their offensive coordinator Dable was signed to he was linked to a ton of different coaching jobs, and he didn't go.
Got to see deep playoff football.
Exactly.
I don't think that they, with the record or the schedule that division has, I like the Bills at the top.
I do too.
And
I honestly think they're 12-14.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I do agree. I think the Bills actually got better when they cut John Brown. Mm-hmm. But you know who they picked up? Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
And I think Emmanuel Sanders is a better receiver than John Brown. And John Brown was the number 3 option on that team behind Beasley.
Yeah.
So
Beasley and Diggs.
So I think Emmanuel Sanders is a better receiver than Cole Beasley. So you upgrade it when you cut John Brown. But I honestly think you gave Bill Belichick all this firepower. And if Cam could play like pre-COVID Cam, I say they win the division.
I don't think so. I think they split it with the Patriots, beat the Dolphins twice, beat the Jets twice, and then they play the AFC South. That's who they get matched with.
Okay.
So it's a win against the Jags, right?
Okay.
The Texans, right?
Okay.
How about Titans? I'd say yeah.
I say yeah. That's a toss-up.
I think maybe they lose to the Colts. I think they lose to the Colts, but beat the Texans or no, the Titans. So that's 8-2. With division and the other team they matched with. And then they play, let's see here, the Falcons is a win. That's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Panthers, that's 10. The Steelers, that's 11.
Okay.
The Bucks, I think they lose to the Bucks.
Yeah, okay.
Beat the Saints, there's 12.
That's weird.
And it's no Drew Brees.
Jameis Winston? Think about it.
We got to know where he's at, though.
Yeah, we got to see how he does the first few games of the season.
All right, so what are you thinking then, Mr. Jets fan, DC? Do the Jets have a chance to mix it up with either the Patriots or the Bills in this division, or are they still a year or 2 away?
They're more competitive. They're a year or 2 away. Yeah. See, now I think I like what they did. I wish we went a little more towards corner, but there's still a lot of corners out there. I honestly think Kyle Fuller's coming to New York, which could help a lot. Sorry.
I don't know if he's going there. The Bears DBs have a tendency to just jump right across the Mississippi River and just sign with Green Bay. But
but
you know,
I mean,
and they need a corner right now too.
They need another corner opposite of Jair.
They tried to get Kyle Fuller, and the Bears had to match the offer sheet. That's why Kyle Fuller was getting paid so much.
the Jets
Anyway,
still
keep
have
going.
like $36 million cap to spend.
Yeah.
So will he go chase the
Green
bag?
Bay doesn't have that much cap
Yeah.
to spend. I
No.
don't think.
So I honestly think in free agency, I think we get him and another one of the lower end corners that are still out there. There's a lot of corners left. And then O-line was my other issue. The O-line we didn't really touch. Kind of wish we had. I think we signed a backup center, but that's irrelevant. I think we fixed that in the draft.
The biggest signing was Corey Davis, huh?
Corey Davis. We got Carl Lawson.
Carl Lawson's a big one too. Carl Lawson's pretty good. He's overpaid a little bit by the Jets, but he's pretty good.
He played like third down, and that was it, and he still got 6 sacks. He's a pressure.
That's actually
And it's
He's
him
a
on
pressure
one
guy.
side and
That's
Quinnen
actually good.
Williams on the other.
You said what?
It's him on one side and Quinnen Williams on the other of that line. On a front seven, it was already pretty good with
Yeah,
low
dude
time.
got Quinn Williams.
C.J. Mosley's back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He opted out because
A
of
little
COVID.
bit better.
Yeah, I got because of COVID. Yep. So
Yep.
they just extended the 2 years that he had onto the next 2 years. But I think they're 5-11, maybe 6-10.
We gotta see taking a year off of football is a lot, man. You gotta
It is.
see how he plays when he's
I don't
coming
know.
back.
I don't think he's gonna be like Pro Bowl talent, but I think he's gonna be productive.
Yep.
Okay.
So then we already kind of talked about this, but to wrap up the AFC East, who do you guys got taking the division?
I got the Patriots. I think it's a toss up between the Patriots and the Bills. I'm leaning more towards the Patriots because you got Bill, all those people, all that talent. You know, I'm not betting against Bill.
Bills, I think they have it. I think the Patriots need to guarantee a quarterback situation before we can say that they're going to beat out Josh Allen and the Bills.
Bet
See,
against Bill, man.
I like Cam, but I'm still going Bills. And it's not because you look at the Patriots too. You kind of look at how Tampa Bay started the year, right? They started off, they got beat right off the bat by New Orleans because New Orleans, they were together. They've been together for a couple years. The Bills are like that now. They've been deep in the playoffs. They've been together. The Patriots are bringing in all these new guys. It's going to take them a few games to even all get on the same page.
Not saying everyone they brought in is going to play at that level.
Exactly. Moving on from the AFC East, where we've got 2 Bills, 1 Patriot, we go to the AFC West. Is this still Kansas City's division, or did some team get enough to try and overtop them?
Broncos got worse. I think Chargers get better.
Okay, that's yeah.
I think Chargers get better
By
too.
Just
like
because-
a couple wins.
Just
By
because
Herbert
Justin Herbert is still going to
And all their free agency moves have been revolved around the offensive line. And losing Hunter Henry is big, but they've got Keenan Allen, who's a stud wide receiver. They got other wide receivers who can help make up for his lost targets.
Yeah.
So I think the Chargers are trending up. How about the Raiders? How have they been doing?
That man can
What
moves
are
on the
they doing?
defense. They don't.
I don't know what they're
changed
doing.
their mind, and they put
Their
too much
entire
faith in John Gruden.
So look, their entire O-line is gone right now. It's not like the all right. So you can bash the Chiefs all they want. They lost Fisher, who was their former first overall pick. They've lost some linemen. They've regained some linemen. They've gotten Kyle Long. They've signed some linemen. They've signed Joe Thuney, who was with the Patriots. It's kind of
You're
weird.
talking about the Chiefs or the Raiders?
The Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Chiefs right now. How
Okay.
they've done that, like how they've lost linemen, but they've replaced them. The Raiders have lost linemen, and they have not replaced them yet.
They traded Trent Brown to the Patriots.
They've just got no one. They traded another lineman. Who was it? Who they traded to Seattle?
Was it Kalichios? No. Oh, let me see.
Trying to think, but they trade another starting lineman to Seattle. They've just they're disbanding their offensive line, and they're not replacing them.
Honestly,
They
I think,
can they field an offensive line right now?
honestly, I think they should just start over.
They need to rebuild.
Just start
Rebuild?
over. You trade
New
Derek Carr
city, new team.
for like a first rounder and you can get a first
No,
rounder.
no.
I don't know. I think you
could.
keep
My
you
question
keep
is,
your franchise quarterback though. I think Derek Carr goes through a rebuild. You extend him, you keep him
He's
through a
young
rebuild.
enough. Hold on, though.
He's young enough. You hold on to him,
I
and you look at the NFL, man. Franchise quarterbacks are hard to come by. If you have a franchise quarterback, that makes you different. You could build around Derek Carr.
I think he's top 20 in the league. I think he also needs a team around him.
I think
to
he's
get
top
better.
15. I think he's
top 15.
I think he's underrated actually.
I think he's top 15.
Because who does he have that's his top wide receiver other than Darren Waller?
Is it Henry
Yeah,
Ruggs?
And Ruggs is not. Ruggs, is
yeah, he hasn't
overrated.
paid off to his
But if
first round
if
pedigree
we think
yet.
he's this elite, he could be the franchise guy. Who does Deshaun Watson have other than Will Fuller, who's now not there? But he still put up insane numbers.
Yeah, but okay.
I think we.
But here's the difference, though.
You got to think about it, though.
Here's the difference.
At least he still had Brandon. Brandon Cooks is underrated. He gets 1,000 yards.
And here's the difference. We said Derek Carr was top 15, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe the best case, maybe top 10. Okay. Deshaun Watson's top 5.
Yeah, okay.
There's a level of difference in there.
I don't think he's top 5, but
who's name 5 QB? Name.
Dylan was dropped on the list.
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Tom Brady. You think Tom Brady now is better than Deshaun Watson?
You mean the dude who walked into an 8?
That's not. No.
I
hate when people say that. They act like this team was straight garbage.
They were 8-8. I just said
this
8-8.
team needed a QB that wouldn't turn over the ball.
All right, we're getting off topic. We could get down to Brady and stuff. We get talking about the NFC South. We're still talking about the AFC West. So we said the Broncos are trending down, even though they extended Justin Simmons. They haven't made any major moves.
They're 3-13.
They haven't addressed the quarterback situation. No, yeah, they're in trouble.
They're going to.
I think so.
They're going to.
We said the Raiders are. We said the Raiders are trending down. We said the Chiefs are trending up. The Chargers are trending up. Mm-hmm. The Chargers are not good enough to compete with the Chiefs yet, right?
Well, they're 8-8.
Yeah,
the Chargers
8-8.
The Chargers, are they good enough to try and take the division from the Chiefs or no?
I
don't think so.
They're a defense away. They're a defense away from doing it. They're not there yet.
I agree.
And give Herbert a full season play and just improve. I mean, he's got. Same thing.
I think Herbert. He's an awesome talent. He needs another year or two though, because Mahomes, he's been there now at this point. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been the
Herbert's
2.
top 10.
I think it's too early to put him that.
Man.
I think it's a little too early to make him top 10.
We'll go over that later.
We'll talk about ranking QBs later. On to the AFC North now. Teams trending up.
They traded Rodney Houston. My fault. The Raiders traded Rodney Houston to the Arizona Cardinals. Their center.
Yes.
I remember that one.
So we all agreed that Kansas City was winning the AFC.
Yeah, we all got Kansas City.
Kansas City's best in the AFC.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they're still that.
I think so too. I think they're still the best in the AFC. All right, moving on to that, the AFC North. So, as we just established, we don't think the Ravens can compete with them. But do we think the Ravens win the AFC North?
Yeah. Yes, but it's close.
Yeah.
Like an 11-5 to the Browns.
I say this:
6.
if the Browns trade away Odell Beckham, they win it.
Yep.
They trade away Odell Beckham, they win it. Because Odell Beckham, for some reason, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. It's like a weird thing. Baker Mayfield is horrible when Odell Beckham's on the field.
It's because he's so worried about getting Odell his targets. He didn't have that problem before.
Yeah, like when Jarvis Landry, like the year before that, when Jarvis Landry, after they fired Hugh Jackson and Freddie Kitchens was offensive coordinator and Greg Williams was the acting head coach, Baker Mayfield was taking off, and all he had was Jarvis Landry. He wasn't worried about feeding Jarvis Landry the ball. He was looking all over the place. When that next year, when they traded for Odell and tried to put the more on Baker's hands, Baker lost his mind because, I'm trying to feed the ball to Odell, even though when he wasn't open,
Mm-hmm.
And Baker's just going to get better. Last year, he cut his picks down like a lot.
And you know what hurt most of that year? Odell Beckham. You got to trade Odell Beckham.
Yep. So do you think as of right now, the Cleveland Browns post free agency, they've had a few minor signings. They haven't really had any huge major signings, no. I don't think. No. Have they been trending up, trending down? Where do you see them next year now that they've gained some playoff experience?
Same spot. You can turn up like 1 win.
Better end of AFC playoff teams. Like a 3-4 seed type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like that 3 to 6 seed range. Yeah.
Now look, the Ravens still have not addressed that wide receiver position.
Oh no, yeah.
And they've lost Matthew Judon too. To the Patriots, that's a big edge guy to lose.
Yeah.
I think they're trending down a little bit. I think they still win that division, but I think they're trending down, and it's hard to see them. They barely won a playoff game this year. They didn't win one when they had the best regular season, and it looked like they were Super Bowl favorites the year before. It's hard. I think, is their window closing a little bit?
It's not closing because Lamar is young. Mm-hmm. I think you got to change up. You got to get away. You got to change up the offense, man. The offense, the route combos are horrible. They don't scheme to get anyone open. It's all.
Do you RPO ever play?
They don't RPO. They don't RPO, man. They just.
Or no. What's it called? The Basically, they're just trying to run their quarterback.
Yeah, they that's why people are like, why does Lamar always throw to the tight ends? That's the only thing's open in the flex. He doesn't have any receiver open downfield. Mm-hmm. They all run in the same spot. And so you get people closing the windows and stuff like that. So they had to change the offensive coordinator. They're gonna have to bring in some more receivers. But as constructed, that team is still going to do it. Lamar's going to carry them to the playoffs in the regular season. Then when they get to the playoffs, the same thing is going to happen because they will not get him any help.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about offense coordinator, but I do think they need wide receivers. He's got to have somebody to throw the ball to.
Honestly, I think what they could benefit from is kind of what LSU did. You bring in a pass game coordinator when like Joe Burrow's last year at LSU when they brought in Joe Brady and they went off because that RPO stuff. That's honestly I think that what they need to do because Greg Roman. I think Greg Roman's to the OC. He's a great run. The run game is phenomenal in Baltimore. It's just that pass game is atrocious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they've signed some players. Like they got Kevin Zeitler, 3 years, $22 million, and that's important for their offensive line. That's a really good guard that they got from the Giants. And they've re-signed back like Derek Wolfe and Pernell McPhee, and they've got some key pieces that they've kept. That I don't think. When I say they're regressing, I think they're just regressing a little bit because of Matthew Judon. I'm pretty high on him, but given all Ravens edge rushers are pretty good.
Who are they playing?
Normally when they come back.
Keep bringing the schedule.
Yeah. Okay. So they're playing the NFC North. So Packers. Vikings,
I said they lose to the Packers. They beat everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Vikings maybe could be competitive, but I still think they beat them.
What division in the AFC are they playing?
The AFC? Who they got in the AFC? Let's see here.
I don't know.
They're playing the Raiders, Broncos, Texans.
They get the AFC West, so they lose to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Lose to the Chiefs, maybe the Chargers.
Yeah.
Or wait. No, Ravens. Excuse me. Yeah, Raiders. Yeah, maybe the Chargers. I don't know, but they play the Chargers at home, so. Yeah, but even then, I mean, that's not a great division. They can steamroll that.
You think
other than the Chiefs?
Think Bengals are trending up or down?
They haven't got no O-line help for Joe Burrow. So.
I don't think they have either.
5-11.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Jets.
Yep. I think Trey Hendrickson's a big signing for them, but at the same time, what happens with their record depends on Joe Burrow. And if you can't protect him after he's already torn his ACL once,
they need to be careful and not become the Jets.
Or you're going to do
3 years watching Sam Darnold get absolutely destroyed in that back.
Exactly. And then eventually you turn out like Andrew Luck. You know, He's super sacked. It was just like, screw this.
And the sad thing is, he went away the next year. They had like the best offensive line in football.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he got tired of getting chased after.
Yeah. What do we think about Steelers trending down a little bit? They re-signed Juju for cheap.
I honestly think
lost Mike Hilton.
The reason why they're trending down, it's not because of anybody they lost. It's who they have at QB.
Big Ben regressing.
Big Ben is regressing. It is not like it's a major drop. It's because of that elbow surgery he had, man. Yep. He's not the same player anymore. He can't throw it that deep anymore. And you notice a lot of that stuff is quick game now. He can't throw it that deep.
Yep.
I think I put the Steelers in like the same class as like the Chargers or the Raiders. You're 8-8, 7-9. I don't think they're not going to get the 11-0 start they had.
No,
like there's just no way.
So they're not playing the NFC East this year. Mm-hmm. Then they play the AFC. They may have played the AFC East.
Did they play the East? Did they play the Jets?
I think they did because they played because the Ravens played the Patriots.
That's true.
I think they may have.
But yeah, either way, they're still. I don't think that they could. Let's see here, Steelers. Other than I think that they could beat the Bengals twice. And then split it with the Browns and split it with the Ravens at best. I honestly think the Browns and the Ravens beat them.
Yeah, honestly don't think they can.
The only reason I see them playing this well is Broncos. I'd give them a win. Lions a win. Titans could be competitive. Bears, they'll have a win. Vikings, I think the Vikings can beat them. So yeah, 7-9, 8-8.
No, they played the AFC. They play the AFC. What's AFC South? I think with the Texans.
Yeah, AFC South.
Colts.
Speaking of the AFC South, are we wrapped up inside this division before we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, wait. Who? So we're saying like a toss-up between Denver and Baltimore for the division?
Or
Cleveland and
Cleveland, my
Baltimore.
fault.
I think their
Baltimore.
tiebreaker will dictate.
Yeah, I think Baltimore wins it outright, but both of them are it's pretty close. Something could happen between now and the start of the season that could decide it. Who knows? Yeah, exactly. Moving on to the AFC South, it goes without any secret that the Texans have to be regressing.
Yeah.
Regressing.
They're the worst team.
With everything going on with Watson, everything. And that's kind of weird to say, too, that they're the worst team
with
and they've got with a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, were they like 4-12 last year?
Yeah.
And they even had Deshaun Watson played every game.
And he played phenomenal.
And he played it with Will Fuller. Yeah. Now they don't even have a wide receiver to throw to. They've just gone ahead and let everyone else go. And Deshaun Watson's not going to play.
Well, Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks. People cannot forget about Brandon Cooks.
That's true. You're right. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. Deshaun Watson's not going to play there.
Exactly.
He's either going to get traded or he's just going to not play. Because he's already said that. He's like, if I'm here, I'm not playing. And there's no way. The only reason I think they'll go 1-15. I don't think they lose every game because I think they can beat the Jags.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One team that is absent of free agency right now is the Indianapolis.
My fault. You have them tying with the Jags?
No, I think the Jags are a little better. But I think the Jags are questionable.
That's what I'm saying. They split one with the Jags? Wow.
That's where they get their one win is from the Jags?
Yep.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know who else they beat. I think I agree with you. I think they could be the worst team this year. The one team that's been really absent from free agency, haven't made any moves in free agency, is the Indianapolis Colts. They traded for Carson Wentz, and they've re-signed Marlon back on a 1-year, $2 million contract, which to basically be their third-string running back behind Hines and Jonathan Taylor.
That's a log jam.
They took a lot of cap on with Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So
they did take a lot of cap on.
And they had a good – Phillip Rivers, good team.
Yep. Are they trending up? Post old Phillip Rivers. Does the addition of Carson Wentz actually help the Colts, DC? Have you changed your mind since our first podcast?
I haven't changed my mind necessarily. I do think he's younger, and if he's going to go back to the way he was when he came out, he'll do it on the Colts. Their roster is amazing. I have them winning that division because their division is crap.
Yeah.
I think the Titans are mediocre, and that would be their only competition.
Yeah.
Because the Titans are trending down. I think that they go 12-4 based on their.
Mm-hmm. No.
Right. Okay. So here. Okay. So Jags, Titans, Texans. Okay, they're gonna beat the Jags every time. The Titans every time, or the Texans every time. Titans. They either split it or win both, right?
I think they regressed though because you got Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Titans.
We still got AJ Brown.
So we'll say Titans. They win it because I'm not really picky on that one. So that's 6-0.
Okay.
Patriots.
Toss up. I say you lose that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you say lose. I'd say win, but it's close, right? Jets, they're going to win it.
Okay.
Rams, I think they lose to the Rams, but beat the Seahawks.
Okay.
Beat the Raiders.
Okay.
Lose to the Bills.
Okay.
I think they beat the Dolphins. I think Tua needs another year.
Yeah.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think they beat the Cardinals, but it's competitive.
I think it would have been good. Before you continue, I think Tua would have been good. This is off topic. I think Tua would have been good if they didn't pull him from every time he was struggling because he's a rookie.
It's the nice part about this year.
Yeah.
You got a full season. Let him do his thing. Let him play. Niners and Ravens are both competitive. But even then, they have 4 or 5 tough games.
Yeah.
And I think they win half of those, which puts them 13-3, 14-2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
weird.
So you think they're vying for Kansas City for that top spot in the AFC? That long bye?
That's tough. I don't think they do, but I don't know.
That's what I said.
Okay, I think the Colts are not 14-2.
Yeah.
I think they're 12-4 to 13-3.
But this goes back to my thing. This goes back to our thing with Cam. We say you don't know which Cam you're gonna get. You don't know which Carson Wentz we're gonna get.
It's the same thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Who knows what we end up getting out of them? So we've said that the Titans are regressing. They've signed Janoris Jenkins to a multi-year deal. Bud Dupree, 5-year contract, $85 million. Still enough to say they're regressing?
Yeah.
On the offensive side of the ball, but not the defensive side of the ball. I think they got better. They needed to get down the defense.
Titans go 9-7 because they play the Jags and the Texans.
And I think the league is catching on to Derrick Henry.
I think so too, and I think it's just hard to like you look at how their team is built. They can't win games once they fall behind.
No. It's just like Have you ever played a triple option team in high school?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If the triple option team is good when the game's like a one score game or they're ahead. But once they get down behind 2 touchdowns and they have to throw the ball, they're horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same offense, but that offense is kind of outdated where they can't really come back once they get behind big.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we can all agree that Jacksonville's trending up after everything that's happened because they were rock bottom. They've got some major signs. They got Cam Robinson. They've got Roy Robinson-Harris, Shaquille Griffin, and then, of course, hopefully they get Tua with their first overall pick.
No, I mean, not Tua.
Trevor.
Oh, Trevor. Yep.
I think Jacksonville's 3-13, 4-12.
Yeah, I agree. 4-12 is a good spot for them. I honestly don't see them.
I think so too.
Like that.
Yeah, they improve a little bit, but they're not anywhere close to contending for that division.
I like Trevor, but I think Trevor comes. Same thing with the Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. Honestly, a little better, but not. I don't think he's that big of a game.
Hopefully, no ACL injury though.
Yeah, a way they can get better. Trade Gardner Minshew for some draft capital because Gardner
they have
Minshew,
to.
He's not he actually could be starting somewhere. It's just that the fact that you can't. Yeah. That wouldn't be
Hey, Chicago's got their guy, man. They got the Red Rocket because he's a stud. All right, keep going. keep going before I lose my damn mind.
Okay.
Keep going before I lose my damn mind.
I mean, yeah, man. Gardner Minshew is not a bad QB. It's just that you can't really pass on who they say is supposed to be this generational talent at QB coming off like with Trevor Lawrence and stuff. I'm not buying it. He's a generational talent. I think he's gonna be good, but you can't pass up on him. Trade
him to Denver for a 2nd-round pick, 3rd-round pick.
Oh yeah, because he's better. We agree he's better than Drew Lock. He's
better than Drew Lock.
He's done more with less in Jacksonville.
At the very least, it's competition.
And they've missed on every single quarterback attempt they've tried because they've been dealing with Justin Simmons. They haven't even looked. All the free agent quarterbacks are gone. There's no one left for them to sign if they want, unless Mariota gets cut.
And honestly, I don't know what they see in Drew Lock. Like they say, "Oh, we're gonna give him one more year." I mean,
you gotta bring some competition for him, and why not compete with another young guy who can take the job?
Right. And actually, also like I said, also proven with less. Drew Lock has had better targets than Gardner Minshew has.
Yeah, I don't know. Gardner Minshew makes a lot of sense to me. So we've all got the Colts taking that division, right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up the AFC. We have the Colts winning the AFC South. We have the Ravens or the Browns winning the AFC North. We have the Chiefs staying on top of the AFC West. And then the AFC East, 2 of us got the Bills. Dante's got the Patriots. Moving on it's kind of close.
No, that's not what I'm on. I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the NFC East, man.